Please welcome to the stage the beautiful SuzyJane.
How y'all doing tonight? Pretty good, huh? Yeah? See that? So let's talk. Let's talk philosophy. Dude, that's pretty heavy, right? So Socrates said, know thyself. That's really good advice. It's also really difficult. Bob Dylan, on the other hand, had similar advice. Dig yourself. Now that can be just as hard, especially if you know thyself, but you don't like that person. When I was small, I recall being happy. My mother was always an angel. My father was a corpsman fresh back from Vietnam. Enough said. I have a recollection of going to the barber shop with him. 25-cent haircut. She got a piece of bazooka bubblegum after. They had a speaking Lina bird and a stack of Playboys. Now, back when I was little, though I wasn't always the Amazon goddess you see before you today, I saw no harm in looking at those Playboys. My father took the opposite position, however, that it warranted a spanking. I left feeling very confused but certain of one thing. When I grew up, I was going to be a mommy like those beautiful girls in the Playboys. I thought that daddies were foul in form and function, but didn't warrant mentioning to Dad just at that moment. The first red flag for me that things weren't going to go as I had hoped occurred in kindergarten. My dad was now a nurse, and he was drying the bath for me, because some like it hot, and that's always been me. And I'd stand naked, waiting for the tub to fill, you know, because what 5-year-old doesn't love being naked, right? At least until that night. As kids are wont to do, I looked down and I said, what's that? And he said, well, that's what makes you a little boy. Little did he know. And I said, well, when's it come off and when do I get my boobies like mommy? What are you talking about? You're not ever going to be a mommy. Get in the tub. I got in the tub, sobbing, until he had enough. Sat me into my room, sobbing. And I had two firsts in the pain department. My first migraine and my first broken heart. Back then, dressing in my mother's and my little sister's clothing, while not encouraged, wasn't directly discouraged. I mean, I've always been an actress, and well, somebody had to be the mommy or the teacher for my little sister, and we never lived next to any other kids, so it was just her and me. Plus, I was still optimistic that somehow, someday, I would grow up to be a mommy. One day my father said, quote, you're getting too old for that kind of thing, unquote. And so my joy and normalcy was turned to secrecy and shame. Now the only thing that could make things worse for a little transsexual girl in the 70s who didn't know that being transsexual was a thing is being sent to a Southern Baptist academy. Yeah, my luck didn't hold up too well. So, what made it worse is I learned that their loving God hated me in particular because I was sure that I was a little girl and that he made some awful mistake, and besides, he was terribly gauche because he had made me a natural redhead. What was this thing's problem? I think that's when the world turned to gray for good, kind of like when Dorothy goes back to Kansas after being in Oz. Add in a lifetime of untreated traumas, because what nurse wasted money on sending their child to therapy, including but not limited to being a Gold Star lesbian to this day, who was called fag from 4th grade until I graduated high school, right flag, wrong color. Physical assault, rejection from my peers, complete fear of my father, and sexual assault from a group of 7th grade boys, because I got half my wish. And even though I was 6'3" and only 120 pounds, I got boobies. They were cute little egg ups. And there you have a barely sentient teenage mess. If only I'd had the courage to bash back then, alas. Ultimately, to escape my sorrow and confusion, and as an alternative to suicide, which I had pondered since 7th grade, I joined the service, hoping I'd be sent to the Gulf and shot. Instead, I was stationed stateside, married, and had a son. I was certain by then that if I was really, truly trans, that I like men, because trans lesbians have always kind of been the punchline to a misogynistic and transphobic joke. An embryonic internet at that point in time had just come out while I was in the Air Force. The world was still huge, and information on trans people is very scarce. I was divorced not long after I got out of the service, and I raised my son by myself from 16 months up. I let being a single parent fill that void and cement the lie I told myself. I felt an overwhelming and all-pervasive sorrow that neither assorted medications nor therapy could help, because there were no studies, no resources to try to know myself. And I certainly didn't dig myself. Life got to its absolute worst the year that my son graduated and moved out. He'd never found the clothing, the makeup, or the wigs that I kept hidden in my room. Thank God, because they were not terribly chic. And I was right back where I started from, which is, I am transsexual, I am confused, and I have no idea what to do about it. My mother, who was fairly conservative, but a kind and true Christian, couldn't possibly accept or love me, let alone what would my son say. So I let the face decide. With the diary of my trans heroine Candy Darling on my chest, I put a single bullet in my .38, spun the chamber. No such luck. I'd have to transition. And, I'd be despised and detested, but certainly no more so in the eyes of my father. Well, as you can see, that gamble led to a happy ending. Once I legitimized my pain thanks to research on a grown-up web, my therapist helped me to come to terms with the true source of my sorrow. I wasn't clinically depressed, hence antidepressant medication didn't work. It was depression secondary to a lifelong physical condition rather than a psychological one that when treated with medication and surgery has thankfully been completely resolved. I have true joy every day. When I came out to my son, he hugged me instantly and said, "I am so proud of you." My father actually supports me to the very best of his ability. And to my mother, who's received no screen time in this thing, even though she was my constant star in the void, told me when I came out, "I've always told you there was nothing you could do that would make me stop loving you. And while I don't understand this doesn't change that at all. We'll figure it out." She's always been my very best friend. We texted every day, and she never hung up without saying, "I love you, always." My mother told me how beautiful I was every day in the final month of her life last November. I spent it with her and my father, who remained married. I kissed her cheek one morning, and I left lipstick there. And I went to wipe it off, and she said, "No, leave it on." So there it stayed while she received visitors. Many of them I'd known my entire life, but were seeing me for the first time. And she'd say, "Suzy left this, isn't she beautiful?" And I'd glow inside. She told me in a private moment that she honestly never thought she'd see me really happy, but that it made her happy to see me so, that she didn't have to understand it. It didn't matter, and it was no sin. My life had been a desperate struggle to exist due to a misdiagnosis of clinical depression, rather than the true diagnosis, what's essentially a minor birth defect. Once that was resolved, she saw me thrive personally and professionally in ways neither of us predicted, living my dream of becoming a professional actress and costumer. When she passed on, I put her in her favorite outfit, made her up, and put a kiss with fresh lipstick inside her palm. I cut a lock of my hair and put it on top of the kiss and then closed her hand. Despite dying of cancer, she had a happy ending. We were always terribly close, and I'd sworn suicide when she died from the time I was very, very little. And sure as I'm here now, I would be dead had I not made the decision to know myself. and dig myself. Estrogen is my antidepressant. It's true. Well, I didn't grow up to be a mommy, not in the same way I thought, but I did grow up to be a grandmommy. My beautiful granddaughter Alana was born on the 11th of last month, just 3 days after my mother's birthday. My life is truly beautiful. My favorite book since childhood was The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. And there's a line that reads, "A happy ending cannot happen in the middle of the story." I'm so grateful that my life finally has a happy beginning. Thank you.